This is the first time I heard this case, and wow, let's go over it. This is known as the West Memphis 3. So it's Little Rock, Arkansas, May 5th, 1993. All 3 boys are 8 years old at this time. So the day started out normal in West Memphis until all 3 boys were reported missing. They were last seen by witnesses around 6:30 that night. So John Mark Byers, which is Chris Byers' stepdad, went out to get the boys, and that's when he realized he couldn't find them. Less than 24 hours later, all 3 boys were unfortunately found, and it was not good. Less than a month later, 3 teens were actually arrested for all 3 boys. This was Eccles, Miss Kelly, and Baldwin. Police believed that these boys were in some sort of satanic cult. All 3 were then sentenced, except Eccles was sentenced to, and the 2 other boys were sentenced to life in prison. For the next 18 years and 78 days, all 3 boys were behind bars, and they were always saying they were innocent. There was a lack of physical evidence, as well as testimonies from individuals that later recanted their statements. Many believe that police coerced a false confession from Miss Kelly, because they interviewed him for hours but only recorded less than an hour of it. And his confession actually had a lot of inaccuracies. In 2011, the boys accepted an Alford plea and were set free, but they still proclaimed their innocence. One of the boys' fathers, John Byers, Chris Byers' father, actually believed that the Memphis 3 were innocent. He believed that Arkansas was making a mistake. In 2007, DNA was tested, and there was no match for the Memphis 3 at the crime scene. However, there was a partial match for one of the little boy's stepfathers, and his name was Terry Hobbs, and his friend David Jacoby actually had a partial DNA match as well. There was a hair that could possibly be Hobbs that was intertwined in the rope that was used. It was also said they couldn't account for where Hobbs was every hour and minute of the day. In 2022, they actually had a petition to retest the DNA, and it finally got accepted in 2024. It has been just over 32 years, and the DNA still remains untested. And that's currently all the information I have on this case right now. Since the DNA is not tested, we don't have any answers. Hopefully they test the DNA soon and can figure out what actually happened.